Hey everyone, today we are going to be converting percents to fractions and decimals. So just like yesterday, we started with one of them and converted to the other two. Today we're starting with another one and then converting to the other two. Today we are starting with percents and converting to fractions and then decimals. To convert to a fraction, so to take a percent and turn it into a fraction, we are first going to write it as a fraction out of 100 because that's what a percent is. A percent is something that's out of 100. That's why everything is out of 100%. And then you're going to simplify the fraction. So in step one here, for 25%, I'm going to take away the percent sign and I'm going to write my fraction 25 over 100. Now, depending on how you want to simplify, some of us are going to see what 25 and 100 have in common in different ways. I'm going to use the greatest common factor. The greatest thing that these two numbers have in common is 25. So I'm going to divide by 25 on both the top and the bottom. So 25 divided by 25 is 1, and 100 divided by 25 is 4. So my fraction in simplest form is 1 over 4. Again, I started by writing the percent over 100 and then simplifying when possible. For 13%, for step one, for 13% in the next example, I'm going to do 13 over 100. When I look at 13 and 100, they do not have anything in common besides a 1. So this fraction cannot be simplified. 13 over 100 is my answer. For step one, for 8%, I'm going to start by writing 8 over 100. Okay, this is not like decimals to fractions. Okay, when it has a percent sign, you write that percent over 100. 8 and 100, their greatest common factor is 4. Many of us may start by dividing by 2, and I can show that as an example as well. So 8 divided by 4 is 2, and 100 divided by 4 is 25. So 2 over 25 is going to be my simplest fraction. If I do 8 over 100 and I don't divide by 4 right away, say I notice that 8 and 100 are both even numbers, and I divide by 2 over 2 first, 8 divided by 2 is 4, and 100 divided by 2 is 50. At this point, 4 and 50 are still both even numbers. So I'm going to divide by 2 over 2 again. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 50 divided by 2 is 25. So I get the same answer regardless of the way that I divide. I just need to make sure that I keep simplifying until I'm all the way done. Okay? For 85%, we're going to start with 85 over 100. And I'm going to make a note down here. Numbers that end in 5 and 0 have a 5 in common. Okay, we talked about this in class yesterday. We're going to talk about it in class over and over and over again. If a number ends in 5 or 0, then it has a 5 in it. So for this one, I'm going to start by dividing by 5 on both the top and the bottom. 85 divided by 5 is 17. And 100 divided by 5 is 20. And that is completely simplified. Okay, so start by writing the percent over 100. And then determine if you can simplify. This is not the same as a decimal to a fraction. All percents are out of 100%, so all percents become a fraction out of 100. Now we're going to talk about converting a percent to a decimal. So to convert a percent to a decimal, you're first going to remove the percent sign and locate the decimal. Step 2, you're going to move the decimal 2 places to the left. This is the opposite of what we did with decimals to percents. So to go from a decimal to a percent, I moved it to the right. To go the other way, percent to decimal, I go to the left. Then we're going to write our new number without the percent sign. So for 37%, the first thing I'm going to do is write it as 37. A number with no decimal written at the end is going to have a decimal at the end of the number. We don't write it, it's kind of invisible, but we're going to put it back in. And now I'm going to move my decimal 2 places to the left. So I'm going to take this decimal and I'm going to move it 2 places to the left, and I'm going to show an arrow that says that's why I'm moving it that direction. This is the same as dividing by 100. So just like in class, I had you guys do the decimal times 100 to get the percent. We would do the same thing with our calculator if we wanted to and divide by 100, and we would get the same thing. So this is the same as 0.37, and I can include the 0 in front if I want to. No percent sign in my answer. For 13.8%, I'm going to write 13.8. My decimal is already there. I'm going to move it 2 places to the left. So my decimal moved to the front, so 0.138, no percent sign. For 27.89%, so 27.89, again, the decimal is present in the number already. I'm going to move it 2 places to the left. So I have 0.2789. For our last one, for 3%, again, the decimal's invisible, so I'm going to add it to the end of my number. And then I'm going to move it 2 places to the left. This is the one we talked about where there's that empty space, so we need that placeholder 0. So this is going to be 0.03. And these numbers are no longer percents. Okay? So 37% is the same as 0.37. 13.8% is the same as 0.138. 27.89% is the same as 0.2789. 3% is the same as 0.03. Okay, when you change a percent to a decimal, there is no more percent sign. Just like when we change the percent to a fraction, there is no more percent sign. Okay? We are writing equivalent expressions, expressions that mean the same thing in different forms. Okay? Just like yesterday, you have a worksheet of converting converting percents into fractions and decimals. So yesterday we started with decimals and did the other two. Today we are going to start with percents and do the other two. Okay, so you have a worksheet of practice for this. Good luck.